So you had a video that went viral. It was like probably a week ago, 2 weeks ago, where you were helping Sky Brown, a 12-year-old girl, do the mega ramp. What was the backstory behind that? Because she is way cooler than I'll ever be, and it was like awesome to see that and everyone trying to encourage her. But what was the backstory?
Just come here. Okay, going.
Get it.
Yeah!
Oh,
Well, she had been considering jumping on that ramp. She had actually been going. It's my friend Elliot's ramp. She had been going to his house and skating the landing part of that ramp and skating the big quarter pipes and getting comfortable with that kind of speed and that kind of size. And I saw her a few days before that, and she said, "I really want to jump the thing. Will you come help me through it?" And I hadn't actually done it in a few years myself. So I thought, yeah, let's learn it together. And so we kind of both were egging each other on. I finally did it a couple times, and I told her it's not as scary as you think it is. And she had already gone down a ramp that was bigger than that one, but not jumped a gap. And I just said, if you make it down this ramp, your momentum is going to take you over the gap. So there's no worry about that. And then you saw what happened. She did it.
It was an awesome
In
video.
fact, I just saw this is all kind of on the DL, but I just saw a video of her there yesterday. She did a 360 over that thing.
What? I mean,
Yeah.
it's such a cool, like, heartwarming video. It's got to be, I would imagine, fulfilling to have, like, a 12-year-old skater still look up to you and be like, Tony Hawk, you're a legend. That doesn't happen a lot in sports. When you talk about, like, an NFL player retires when he's 60, people don't still think about them as, like, that way and that reverence, where you have skaters who are still asking for your advice. That's got to be pretty fulfilling, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I mean I think that's the best I can do these days too, is just sort of pass on my experience and my knowledge to a newer generation. And I mean, make no mistake, Sky is fully capable of doing that all on her own. I just give her a little more confidence and incentive to do it because I can see what she is capable of, and sometimes she just needs that little push.
Mm-hmm.
If Tony Hawk was born in 2010, let's say that you're 10 years old right now, do you think that you would get as into skateboarding as you did when you were coming up? Because I know that the dynamics changed a little bit, where now you have, I guess, more like there've been more people in front of you, but it's less counterculture now than I think that it was back in the day. Which I think the counterculture kind of was attractive for a lot of people that started skateboarding in the 80s and in the 90s. So, like, if you were born right now, do you think that you would be more inclined to be a skateboarder, or do you think you'd be kind of less inclined?
I think I would be inclined to be a skater. Yeah, I think there's something that drew me to it that was not about just being rebellious or being an outcast. It was more about the possibilities and the idea that you can do it at your own pace and on your own terms and not have to listen to a coach. I mean, that's really it for me. So it was hard for me back then. It was hard for me because I was ousted by my peers, my classmates, because I chose to skate. And then when I got into skating, I was considered an outcast because I was so little and my style was so sort of robotic. And so for me, that was really hard to be not accepted in either realm, and especially in the sport that I end up loving. So now I feel like there's much more acceptance, there's much more support, no matter how you choose to skate. And I think I would have enjoyed that very much.
Did you ever have a moment where someone who maybe not picked on you but was like, skating is stupid, play play a real sport, and you ran into them like 20 years later and you're like, well, that
yeah.
sucks.
Well,
I'm Tony Hawk.
It's funny because I think I've actually managed to cross through the other side, where for sure that was the narrative about skating when I was young, was that why are you still skating? That's a kid's toy. That's like doing yo-yos or hula hoops. And that was the attitude. And then when I was in my 20s, I had some success in my late teens. And then my 20s, is when I was still trying to skate. And then that's when it was like, how could you possibly still skate? You were a grown man. Like, what is wrong with you? And now I've sort of pushed through to the other side where it's like, hey, that's amazing. He's 50 and he can still ride a skateboard.
Yeah. You know what you need to do? You need to find someone who is like a real jerk to you when you were growing up, and then bring him to the mega ramp and make a viral video of you being like, you got this, dude, you got this, and they clearly won't have it, and then they break all their bones.
I feel like there's a lot of liability.
No. They did it themselves. No. You just give them the Sky Brown, like, it's super easy. A 12-year-old girl just did this. You got this, man.
Yeah.
And it's like a 50-year-old dude who was mean to you in high school, and he tries to, shoot the gap, and he just totally biffs and breaks every bone in his body. And you're like, gotcha, man. Like, this was 40 years coming.
Haha, joke's on you.
Yeah, you never had.
No, I think I take my success as the ultimate revenge, so I'm okay.
Okay, fair. You're probably a bigger man than us. So I had my last question. It was the beefy question. Go to butcherbox.com/PMT to receive quality meats delivered to your door now. So the other thing we talked about, Jackass. We had Steve-O on a couple weeks ago. He said that they started filming the new Jackass movie. The first week was incredible, and then coronavirus happened. I think when you came on, you said that you didn't even know if they were going to do another movie. Will you be in this one?
Let's put it this way. I have planted that seed.
Yes.
And I have seen some footage that made me laugh until I almost puked.
Oh, yes. You got to get in it. You got to get in it. From everything Steve-O said, this is going to be like, I think there's a vibe of these guys are washed up, so they're going to go even further to make sure that they tell everyone they're not washed up. So you have to be a part of that.
I saw 3 just still photos, and they were next level.
Oh my God, I'm so excited! Just being able to laugh at a still picture. This movie is going to be amazing.
Yes.
I did have one last question. So when you were making the original Tony Hawk, I remember that there was a scene that had to be cut out because it was like right after 9/11 that the game shipped, and there was a scene in an airport with like terrorists who got replaced by pickpockets. In this new one, are we going to get the original scene, or is it still going to be the pickpockets?
That was not in the first 2 games.
Okay.
But we will stay true to the series, so that it'll be pickpockets. Like we're whatever was on the release, that's where we're going.
Got it.
Pro tip: if you do like another update of it, you guys should add a Karen character who comes and tries to steal everyone's skateboard and tells them like, "I won't wear a mask." That's like, I know my rights.
Barbecue Becky.
Yeah,
shows up and
calls
she's like,
the cops.
She's like, "Hey, get out of here."
You're not allowed to skate here.
And then you can go on the game. You can go and you can tweet the video and have her canceled and fired from her job at like Fidelity.
Oh man,
that would be
you
cool.
get way too real now.
No, but that'd be cool.
I like our fantasy world of crazy skate tricks and grinding on high wire.
No,
yeah,
that should just be the final boss.
You gotta have the man that you're fighting against a little bit.
Right.
Like security, you had to like dodge the mall cops and stuff. You should have like a Karen that shows up with a cell phone in her hand and her husband who's like standing behind her, looking a little embarrassed because his wife's causing a scene, but he won't say anything. Mm-hmm. And then like eventually he like steps in front of her and he's like, "Go, you kids go home. I'm going to tell your dad."
That's how you beat the game.
Okay.
Getting Karen canceled.
So foot plant the Karen.
Yes.
The final challenge.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Just something to think about if you want to. If you want to bring us on.
Yeah. Ollie off her face.
Yeah, right. We got this.
Foot plant all the Karens.
Yes. Yes.
That'd be awesome.
Yes.